Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Max with BuzzTox here, and I'm back with another Game of Thrones news video. Now this video is going to be really brief because some new photos of Game of Thrones Season 7 have dropped and they look unbelievable, and I had to give my thoughts on them. But before I get into it, I just want to quickly issue a spoiler warning to all of you out there. I'm going to be looking at these images and referencing plot leaks and set leaks that have been featured on Watchers on the Wall, so if you don't want to be spoiled, leave right now. But that takes us to our first photo, and that is of Jon Snow on a horse, which looks like the courtyard of Winterfell. Now, there isn't much to say about this scene, but what I'm going to say is that this is in episode 2, when Jon is actually going to be leaving for Dragonstone. We can see that Jon is a Stark soldier right behind him, and it looks like that they're ready to leave, to make their way to Dragonstone, to talk to Daenerys about Dragonglass, and asking for her aid in defeating the White Walkers. But I believe that this image is actually connected to another image that was aired. We got a professional look at it earlier, but we get a behind-the-scenes look at this picture of Sansa and Littlefinger. And I believe that in this picture, Sansa is looking down at Jon as he is about to leave Winterfell, and she is taking charge of Winterfell in Jon's stead. And I think there's a reason that there's a bit of resentment on Sansa's face, and the reason for that is because I think her and Jon may have had some fights on leadership and how to rule Winterfell. And I think many conflicts can arise. A common issue that they could debate is what to do with the family houses who betrayed House Stark in the Battle of the Bastards. Jon would be a character who'd want to pardon them, whereas Sansa might want to punish them because they cannot be trusted. You can't blame her, she learned that from Littlefinger. And there's a lot more action in Winterfell. We also see Tormund in the courtyards of Winterfell, and it's the same thing as Brienne. What is his role? We know that based on the plot leaks and the set leaks, we know that he's going to be involved in a mission with Jon Snow over the wall. So we know what he's going to be doing for the last 3 episodes, but what's he going to be doing in the start of the season? I think it's important that Tormund stays there, because since that Jon is leaving to Dragonstone, Sansa is in charge of Winterfell, and Tormund would be in charge of protecting his people and controlling the wildlings. So he may also be in a form of leadership, just by making sure that his people are protected. We also get a shot of Arya, and it's a huge debate on where she is. And the reason for that is just the lack of snow. I can tell that they purposely kept the ground from out of sight, but I believe that she is in the Riverlands, or she is in a nearby village on her journey from the Riverlands to Winterfell. And that takes us to our last image, which is unbelievable. It is Daenerys on the back of Drogon, and Drogon is noticeably bigger from his appearance in Game of Thrones Season 6. It's been said in an interview that Drogon is actually going to be the size of a 747 fighter jet, so it looks like he can do a ton of damage. And in this image, we can see people on fire, we can see chaos breaking loose, and that raises the question is, where are they? In the image, we can see Dothraki soldiers in the background, but it's really hard to make out anything else. And I'm going to wager a guess and say that this is in episode 4, when she is actually fighting in Highgarden with her dragons. And this has been leaked. There's been a set leak that shows carriages leaving Highgarden, and it's because Cersei wants to pull the resources from Highgarden to help her in the war. And Daenerys is actually going to go through on Drogon and burn all of the carriages and maybe keep some loot for herself. And it's going to be a fight between Jaime and Bronn against Daenerys, her dragons, and the Unsullied. So that'll be a huge event to see. And this fight is actually supposed to be as big as Battle of the Bastards. They have just as many extras, and it's supposed to be a huge spectacle. But the main thing about this shot that gets me excited is that it is finalized CG. It looks like it is a finished shot from the show itself. And what this is telling me is that we're getting closer and closer to a trailer. In the last news video I made, I tried to look at when we would expect a trailer, and I compared it to Season 6. And what is so exciting about that is I think that this image is pulled from the trailer. We're going to be getting deep insight in this shot. We're going to be seeing Daenerys ride Drogon in a trailer that I believe is going to be released this week. If you want to look at my last video, I speculated on when we can expect the next trailer, and I said that it was this week. The reason why is because marketing is ramping up. On May 16th, a bunch of the Game of Thrones cast were actually doing interviews, as well as these photos being dropped. And on top of that, we're around that time of year. If you compare it to the last season, this is when they released their first trailer. Last year, the first trailer was released 1 month and 15 days before the premiere of the show. We're approaching on that time. And I think now is the perfect time to release that trailer. Usually, in marketing, when you drop a professional photo, you are going to be getting a trailer immediately after. So I would say expect a trailer tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then by Friday of this week. But that was my very quick video. I really wanted to throw this video out as fast as possible because I'm convinced that the trailer is going to drop, and I wanted to talk about these photos before the trailer dropped. You can expect some predictions videos coming out soon, and I'm going to be working on a really good theory video that is very reminiscent to my Bran the Three-Eyed Raven video, but with a new character, so you can stay tuned for that. But until then, I'll see you guys later.